Hey, boxing fans, it's your boy, Mr. V. Korat again. Okay, tonight we just gonna break down Manny Pacquiao's career, especially in the last, let's say, 10 years. Manny Pacquiao is regarded as one of the greatest boxers that has ever lived. I mean, some of the guys even label him as the greatest boxer of all time. That's what other people say about Manny Pacquiao. As to why are they saying that, I don't know. I really don't know. Why would you say that? Manny Pacquiao is not showing any skills other than the speed and the power that he has, which the power is been questionable actually, because Manny Pacquiao has been moving up in terms of weights, but he didn't lose any of the speed, he didn't lose any of the power, and that's why Floyd ended up requesting the blood testing, the Olympic style blood testing, right? And Manny Pacquiao has cherry-picked his opponent. He's the one who's actually cherry-picking his opponent. He's the one who's waiting for boxers to lose. He's the one who's been waiting for boxers to pass their primes. He's just overhyped, man. For me, he hasn't done anything that I would regard him as a great. And when I watch him as well, I don't see any skill there. All I see, I wasted my money, activated my television services to watch him against rivals. It was in the morning in my country. I came from work that morning, rushing, speeding my car to get at home and watch Manny Pacquiao against rivals. Guess what? All I saw there in that fight, Manny Pacquiao is hitting and is running just to avoid getting hit. That's what he was doing the whole night, the whole morning. Okay, in my country, because in the morning, as they say, that's what he was doing the whole morning, hitting and running. No skill at all. All I see is hitting and running, and he was fighting with the guy who just came from a loss, a young guy who doesn't believe in defense as well. All players believe is taking fight, is taking punches and making sure that he cannot go down. That's all I saw. So for me, Manny Pacquiao in his career hasn't done anything for me. He hasn't defeated any talent that was the big guys that he's beat, your Oscars, your Muslims. Those guys were off their prime. There's a proof, there's a living proof. Oscar had lost in the biggest fight in the boxing history. Now even Oscar De La Hoya says it. He says that fight, that loss, was the most damaging one in his career, because he lost the biggest fight in the world, of actually the biggest fight in the boxing history. He lost. He says it. He says that was personal, because he has to live with that for the rest of his life. That's what Oscar says. Now you guys bitching about Floyd. Yeah, Floyd is cherry picking his opponent and all that. Whereas actually Manny Pacquiao is the one who's doing that. You know? Let's take Manny Pacquiao's maybe his last 4 fights. Manny Pacquiao fought Rios, a young guy coming off a loss in 2013, November 2013. Imagine if Floyd had fought Rios. What would people be saying if by fighting Canelo, who was undefeated in an 8-year professional career at 42-0, and you can't even give Floyd credit for that. You are saying now Floyd fought a young guy who's upcoming, but before the fight You were not saying all those things. You were saying, yeah, Canelo is going to knock out Floyd in the 8th round and stuff like that. Now, when he outclassed him, you say, yeah, Canelo is upcoming, he's slow, he's flat-footed, all those things, you know. And Manny Pacquiao fought Marquez in 2012, December 2012. He was KO'd, cold. He didn't see the punch. He didn't know where he was. Now imagine if Floyd was the one who was KO'd by Marquez. What would you guys be saying? And then he lost Manny Pacquiao in June 2012. He lost to Bradley. What would you guys be saying had Floyd lost to Bradley? Right? I know most of you will say, yeah, Floyd wouldn't even fight Bradley because he's darking and stuff. But we all know Bradley blew up his chances by signing up with Top Rank. We all know that. Manny Pacquiao fought again in 2011. He fought Marquez, unimpressively winning. Was it a split decision or majority decision? But imagine if all these last 4 fights by Manny Pacquiao were by Floyd. What would we be saying by Floyd? Exactly, what would we be saying? Manny Pacquiao for me doesn't deserve any credit. I like Manny, don't make any mistake. I like Manny, he's down to earth as a person, but as a boxer, I'm sorry, he just hasn't done enough for me to get that respect. I don't see any skill. All I see is speed and power. That's all. Nothing else. Whereas with guys like your Marquez, your Brady's, your Floyd's, the guys who are skilled, man. Those are great boxing fighters because they've got some skills. With Bradley, you're talking of excellent footwork, great sharp jab, you know, a great defense as well, you know, not hitting and running, you know, like Manny Pacquiao did with Rios. He was hitting and running because he was scared of being KO'd again by as it happened with Marquez. So for me, Manny Pacquiao, I'm sorry. I like him. He's down to earth as a person. I like him so much, and yeah. What I don't like as well is what he's been doing with his boss when it comes to Floyd. Just now, I think a day ago, Manny Pacquiao told some journalists that he would fight Floyd for nothing. All the proceeds will go to, he will donate proceeds to the charity, right? And he knows, what I hate about that, he knows he doesn't call the shots. Bob Oram is the one who's calling the shots. Manny Pacquiao fights under Bob Oram, and Bob Oram is actually the man who's blocked Floyd Manny fight. He's the one who's blocked that fight. And Manny Pacquiao has been doing that, trying to shift the blame to Floyd. Now he's saying, I'm willing to fight Floyd for nothing, putting Floyd on the spotlight. Now everybody will say, yeah, Floyd is attacking, why can't he fight? Because Manny wants to fight. He knows, Manny Pacquiao knows, it depends to Bob Oram. He cannot make any rules. Manny Pacquiao cannot state any terms. He knows that. Even when he was called by Floyd and was offered 40 million, he didn't give the answer right away. He said he was going to speak to his boss. It's actually Bob Oram who rejected the 40 million, not Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao wants the fight, but Bob Oram just doesn't want to make the fight. He's avoiding. Now they want to avoid Bradley. That's what Bob Oram has been doing. He knows the fight with Mayweather, Manny is going to lose, and if he loses, Bob Oram is going to lose a lot of money. So he must keep the fight not happening, make sure the fight is not happening, and we're still interested in seeing what Pacquiao can do. And Manny Pacquiao, until he beats people who are good, I mean, right now, I just don't see why Manny Pacquiao shouldn't fight Bradley next. The only person that he should fight is Bradley, because he has to prove that he was robbed in the first fight, and Bradley wants the fight as well, because he says, I want to prove that I beat Manny Pacquiao first time. That's the fight that they should be focusing on, not Guerrero. I don't even think he can beat Guerrero, by the way. Manny Pacquiao. Yeah, Manny Pacquiao, one of the greatest boxers in history? Absolutely no. Absolutely no. Even Oscar De La Hoya has done much better. Oscar De La Hoya in his fight, he defeated about 17 world champions. That's why he's so big. Manny Pacquiao in his 60 something fights, he hasn't done that. He hasn't done that. His fans say he's defeated about 12 to 13 out of 63 fights or so. He has only fought, or he has only defeated 12 to 13 champions. Right? With Floyd, it's different. Floyd has only fought 45 times, has lost, has defeated more than around 22 world champions. Right? Yeah, that's it. That's the truth. It's not an opinion, it's a fact that is there. Take a look, close look at Manny Pacquiao's career and tell me what you see. Go to Wikipedia, check the list of his opponents, check the history of his opponents just before they fought him. They just recently lost. It's either they're coming off a loss or they recently lost. Yeah, that's what Manny Pacquiao's career is, man. Just not great. Cheers, bye.